Hey, healthcare providers, raise your hand if this sounds familiar. You finish your long 12-hour shift or workday only to spend 2 more hours charting or completing paperwork. You miss another family dinner, collapse into bed, only to repeat the same process tomorrow. I've been there. But what if I told you there are a few simple shifts that could give you back hours every single day without sacrificing patient care? Sound like magic? It's not. Stick with me because today we're dismantling the myth that busy equals productive. Yes, medicine is hard. Yes, we have a lot of paperwork and charting is really painful. But the truth is, it doesn't need to dominate your life. That is a lie that's created by the system to control your time. By the end of this video, you'll have a proven way to reclaim control over your schedule without sacrificing patient care or your personal time. I'm going to share strategies that most physicians overlook or that we never learned in the first place that will completely change the game. I want you to picture this. Imagine wrapping up your day before sunset, leaving the hospital without that crushing weight of unfinished notes or tasks. Imagine getting home in time for dinner with your family or grabbing a workout after work, actually being present instead of mentally buried in patient notes and thinking about all the things you have to do before bed. This isn't a fantasy, it's possible. Lots of physicians are able to do this, and I'm going to show you what they know that you don't. Hi, I'm Dr. Ben. I'm a pediatric cardiologist with over 20 years of practice experience, and I'm also a physician coach. I've helped countless doctors take back control of their time. Trust me, I know this struggle firsthand. When I first started, I would spend hours on tasks associated with my job. I was drowning in charting, completing echo reports, and other administrative work. I was convinced that was the only way to do it and there was no way out. Even when I wasn't physically doing the work, I was constantly worrying about the things that I needed to be done and thinking about all those uncompleted tasks that were waiting for me at the office. Finally, I had a breaking point. I missed another family event and I felt horrible. I was tired of being stuck at the hospital and I decided enough was enough. I also recognized that no one was going to save me. It was either quit medicine, get a new job, or learn how to work differently. The problem was, I liked my job and I love being a physician. So I started experimenting. I learned some different time management techniques and gradually things changed. Today, I'm going to share how you can do exactly the same thing. Let's be honest, physicians don't just work long hours. We exist in survival mode. The pager never stops. The EMR feels like a black hole that was not built for ease of use. And somehow between patients, charting, and all of that stuff we're supposed to do, we're somehow supposed to have a life too, and spend time with our family and take care of ourselves. Here's the thing, if you don't get a grip on your time now, you're gonna burn out. That's why 60% of physicians are burnout. Long hours become a way of life, and before you know it, you're running on empty. You're physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually exhausted. The good news is, you don't have to live that way. There are physicians who don't and are happy in medicine. It's important to know that burnout and exhaustion is not your failure, it's a system's failure. You can't fix the system, but you can change how you work in the system and learn the skills you never learned in training. So, how do we turn this around? Time management is not just about working harder, it's about working smarter. And working smarter starts with a few simple strategic shifts. Let's get into them. First, let's start with what I call the one-touch rule. It's time to stop the endless loop of starting a task, stopping it, starting, stopping, and just repeating the same task over and over. One of the biggest time wasters is revisiting the same task multiple times. Here's a scenario I know you encounter because it happens to me every day. You start working on a chart and you're interrupted. And before you complete what you were doing, you get pulled to another task. You make a mental note to finish it later, and before you know it, you've touched the same task or the same chart 5 times and the work's not done. Sound familiar? So apply this one-touch rule to prevent that from happening. When you open a chart, finish it in one sitting. If someone interrupts you, say, just a minute, let me finish this, I'll be with you in a second. That eliminates the mental load of unfinished tasks, scatters your efficiency, and just frees up your day. I actually cut down my charting time by 30% simply with this rule. Next is a really simple idea that has a huge impact. It's called batching your work to create deep focus blocks. Multitasking is a myth. It's not just inefficient, it actually burns prefrontal cortex energy. Task switching eats up as much as 40% of productivity. So every time you switch between patient care to charting to emails, your brain burns time and energy. So when possible, batch tasks and set aside dedicated focus blocks. Here's a couple different ways to do it. Create 1-minute power sessions for charting with 0 distractions. If you're in a busy workroom, put in noise-canceling headphones to get rid of those distractions. Set aside specific time slots for answering emails. Keep your email shut the rest of the time so it doesn't hijack your day. And pre-schedule breaks to recharge so that you don't burn out by noon or by the middle of the day and are just running on fumes. Another way to think about tasks is to think about the energy that's required. Save the high-focus tasks for times when you are naturally more alert, and routine, more mundane tasks for times when you're a little sleepy. For me, that happens to be the post-lunch slump. The results of batching: higher efficiency, less stress, a schedule that other people can look at and know when you're busy, and a mind that actually gets to breathe and focus. The third strategy I want to talk to you about is a little more complex. You can do it every day, but I really like to save this one for days when I have a hard stop at the end of the day. It's the reverse schedule method. In short, you build your day backwards. Most physicians and most people start their days reactively. We show up just kind of seeing where the day is going to take us, and we start off running and don't think about the end of the day. In this method, you start planning your day when you want to leave the hospital and then work backwards and plan your schedule from the end to the beginning. So for example, if you want to leave by 6 p.m., work work backward from there. Adjust your clinic schedule as needed to provide enough buffer time at the end of the day so that you finish on time. Also use that task batching kind of mindset to schedule high energy tasks when you are most alert and avoid them from the end of the day when they're likely to erode your time and keep you from leaving when you want to. By planning your day with the end in mind, you create a natural time limit that prevents work from endlessly expanding into the evening hours. Fourth is actually one of my favorites. It's the 2-minute rule. This is a foolproof way to eliminate small task bottlenecks at the end of the day. How many times do you push off a quick task because you don't have time? That's a trick your mind is playing on you, and it's a trap. This rule is simple. If a task takes less than 2 minutes, do it immediately. Avoiding a prescription refill, approve it right away. Replying to that quick email, get it done. These small tasks pile up, stealing hours at the end of the day and eroding into your free time. Cut them off at the source. When I started using this rule, I was amazed at how many things I just knocked out in just a few minutes in the course of my day, and by the amount of time I freed up at the end of the day. I actually don't work out at the end of the day because of the amount of time that was freed up. I was also worried when I first started doing this that patients would notice that maybe I was late getting into a room and that they would complain if they waited a few minutes. I was wrong. No one actually noticed. And in fact, because I was getting prescriptions done early and all of those work excuses and notes done that people needed before they left the appointment, I actually received a ton of positive feedback and our patient satisfaction scores went up. Finally, master delegation. Stop doing what other people on your team can handle. Physicians are perfectionists, and we notoriously think we're the only people that can do everything, and we try to get everything done ourselves. But the truth is, if someone else can do a task, delegate it. Use your team at the top of their licenses and to the top of their abilities. Nurses, MAs, nurse practitioners, physician's assistants, administrative staff, all want to help. And the more you leverage your team, the more time you free up for what only you can do. For instance, one of my coaching clients, Dr. Mark, who was an ER physician, charted every single detail by himself. He made a small shift by relying on his roomer to confirm meds and enter a little bit of historical data in his note. He found that not only did it free up his time, it also empowered his staff to grow, and turnover decreased because they were so excited about learning new skills. Delegation isn't really about offloading tasks, it's about building a stronger, more capable team that wants to work together. So that was a lot. Let's recap all these different strategies. The one-touch rule: stop revisiting the same task over and over. Batch your work because multitasking is slowing you down. Use the reverse schedule method and plan with the end in mind, especially on days when you have a hard stop at the end of the day. Apply the 2-minute rule and eliminate those micro bottlenecks and just get things done when you can. And finally, delegate because you don't have to do it all and your team is there to support you in work. Time isn't just minutes, it's moments. Moments with patients, with family, and for yourself. So which strategy will you try to reclaim those moments? Start small, track your wins, and remember, you didn't survive medical school to be buried in paperwork. If you found these strategies helpful, share this video with a colleague so more people can see this and benefit from it. And if you're ready to go deeper, I've got something for you. I created an entire course that teaches all the skills that physicians and healthcare workers need to thrive in the system. And it's the skills that we didn't learn in training. Check out the link in the bio and in the description. And for making it to the end of this video, I've got a discount code for you. Enter Thrive30, THRIVE30 at checkout for 30% off any of the course packages. Smash the like button if this resonated with you, and share it with a colleague who's drowning in charts of paperwork. Until next time, this is Dr. Ben, helping you heal patients and your life.